What up, B Squad? It is me, JB, and I am here with another review for Baddies USA. This is season 8, episode number what? Episode 8, I believe, as well. This episode is titled "Watch Your Mouth." Before I do get into it, if you're watching this video or any other video on the channel and you're not subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your post notifications. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of Baddies, shall we? All right, so this episode, it picks up where the last one ended, and that was with the girls outside of the house after Biggie and Tommy had got into it with each other. And the girls were saying that Tommy had some girls pull up to try to fight them, right? So everybody is screaming at Tommy, telling her she's a weird bee, she's a weird bee, she's a weird bee, and all this kind of stuff, right? And you got Mariah Lynn up by the cards. I don't know what Mariah Lynn was doing, but she was doing something, right? So Tommy is in her interview, was like, I don't know nothing about no girls pulling, I don't know nothing about this, right? And then she's like, I don't give a damn about the repercussions. I was like, of course you don't, Tommy. That's not a shock to anybody that you don't give a damn, right? So the producers put the girls into the Sprinter van so that way they can get them to the hotel, right, where they're going to be staying at for the night, right? So from there, it was Nunu was asking the question about, I guess, where her stuff was, and so the producers told her that I guess her stuff was in another Sprinter van. So she went to go get on that. She went to go get on that Sprinter van, right? And so for some odd reason, when she got over there, her and Tavy Baby are getting into it with each other. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I was so confused about her and Tavy getting into it with each other, right? So then at one point, they were arguing with each other, and Fauna was trying to close the door. And so Tavy started going off on Fauna. And I was just like, what in the hell is going on? Like, nothing was making sense to me. So Fauna and Tavy screaming at each other and going off, and I was just like, again, what are we doing and why are we doing it? So Tavy get to screaming that she wants to fight. She wants to fight. I was like, girl, you need to go to sleep, is what you need to do, because this is just making absolutely no fucking sense to me. Like, you screaming for no reason, right? So that scene ended. Now we get to the hotel room, and it's the next day. So we see as Summer's in her room, and Rolly went to go to Summer's room to check on her, right? And so they were talking about what happened the night before at rehearsal. And here's the thing, Summer keeps trying to say that, oh, Tasiki's mouth was bleeding, and Mars, she just had a scratch here and there. Summer, I don't care how you scratch it, flip it, rub it, do whatever you want to do to it. Tasiki did not get beat up by Marsh. I don't care how you try to slice it. I don't care if you try to say that, oh, they cut the scene, they didn't show the full fight with Marsh and Tasiki. I don't really give a damn how you try to spin it. Tasiki did not get her ass beat up by Marsh. Now, did Marsh get beat up herself? I'm not going to necessarily say that I think Marsh just got dog walks, but Marsh was, hanging in there with Tasiki. I will say that. But it ain't like that girl just straight up beat up Tasiki. And then she was talking about the fact that, Marsh was trying to kick her. And Roller was like, yeah, that's my sister. And I wasn't going to sit there and let that happen. Mind you, each time that Marsh tried to kick at Tasiki, she missed. Like, she never connected with her boot never connected with Tasiki's head or with her face, right? So then Rolly asked Summer, like, what's going on between you, Lex, and Dolly? And so Summer is like, people feel like the reason that we having issues is because of the fact that, they didn't help me when she was fighting with Tasiki. But she says that that's not it. Now, she did say something, but I was kind of confused about because she said that she and Lex and Dolly had a conversation after, but I was kind of confused what she was talking about because it didn't make any sense to me. And then they started talking about the fact that, well, this is Rolly because in her interview, she was saying that she had a conversation with both Lex and Dolly, and was telling them that Summer, she could end up being a problem for them going forward, which her mouth. But I think they knew that. I just don't think that they honestly cared that much about Summer's mouth last season as much as they are quote unquote caring about it this season, right? But that's my little 2 cents. If anybody disagrees, feel free to just leave it in the comment section. I don't really care. So the next thing we get is Tavia and Cole Killer. They went out for a walk, right? And they're talking about what's going, their performance that's coming up that night, right? So Cole Killer, she's excited about her performance. She got merged with her. Tavia's like, this is the first time that I'm ever performing, and we're performing in my city, so we cool with that. Now, they did talk about the fact that they've switched the rotation of the show because Cole Killer is no longer going to be opening the show. It's actually going to be Smiley who's opening the show, right? And what I can say about Cole Killer is I have an immense amount of respect for Cole Killer because Cole Killer was like, you know what? I'm not no hating ass bitch that's gonna be like, oh, why y'all put her as the opener? Because she's like, Smiley do got a good song, and I rock with it. Like, so I was like, that's what's up, Cole Killer. The fact that you can actually give kudos to her and not be upset and pissed off, right? So then they also had a conversation about, the whole timing of it all and what she did. And Cole Killer's like, she want to see Tommy. And I was like, okay, Cole Killer, girl, you just learning how to fight. But I mean, you've been standing your ground this season. And honestly, I'm here for it. But that's really all we got with that scene, right? So then the next thing we got is Fauna. So Fauna went to go have a conversation with Nuna. So they both getting their hair and makeup done, right? So Fauna went in with Nunu, and basically she was talking to Nunu. She was like, "So me and you had a whole conversation about K Rican and even Cole Killer, and you said that since K Rican is not here, you're not gonna speak on her, right? And then you also said that you weren't gonna say nothing to Cole Killer." And she's like, "But you called her out," and so Nunu was like, "Well, I was just checking the temperature. I was just checking the temperature." And although I'm not hip to the language that the kids use, I will say I was kind of confused listening to her because she's saying that her and they both agreed that the issues with her and K Rican are stupid because I guess people were comparing K Rican and Nunu to each other. It is stupid, right? So then they were saying that they were so Fauna says, but you and Cole Killer were both going back and forth online with each other, and y'all were basically, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess they were talking about they were gonna check the energy, the temperature when they both met each other, right? And so Fauna's like, but when you first saw her, you didn't say nothing to her, and so Nunu was like, yeah, I came in, I checked the temperature, and it was cold, so I didn't say nothing. And I was like, okay, you checked the temperature and it was cold. Cool. So then she was like, but then Fauna was like, but you're the one that called her out the last time. And she was like, yeah, I was checking the temperature again. And I was like, huh? Here's my thing with you, Nunu. I don't dislike Nunu. I don't have no issue. I don't dislike Nunu, right? But I was confused by this. If you come in and you say that you were checking the energy of Kokilla and it was cold, then that means that there was no beef with you, right? So why would you then wait to everybody is basically arguing in the house with each other. And like, why would you wait until everybody, like, you guys are all arguing in the house with each other, right? And then you decide to call her out. Like, that's really weird to me. And I actually 100% agree with with Fauna. Like, that shit is weird. So they got to fight with each other, right? And what I will say is, Fauna was binking her in the face. Like, now I can't say who won that fight because security immediately jumped in. So I don't know. I won't say Fauna won, and I won't say Noodle won. Me personally, I would actually have to say that shit like a little bit of a tie to me, right? Now the next scene: Mariah, Anna, and Biggie. When it comes to those three and talking to Tasiki, it really this gives this vibe to me. These are this Tasiki is like a principal or a teacher to them, right? Because they gonna run back and tell her, oh, so when we was at the house last night, Biggie and Tommy got into it with each other, right? And so Biggie and Tommy were arguing, and then Tommy went outside, and Tommy had some girls pull up, and they were trying to fight Biggie, and they were trying to fight Cold Killer, but you know what? I jumped in and I tried to stop that shit from happening. And I'm like, y'all really do give tattletale. Y'all give tattletale vibes if I ain't never saw it in my life. But that was really it with that scene with them. It wasn't nothing else to that scene. So we see as the ladies arrive to the venue, right, for the performance. Lemmy came, don't know why he came, but hey, he was there, right? So he let the ladies know that he is going to Italy to handle some business. He's going to be taking Scotty and Jayla with him. Natalie says that she's going to be going to a funeral for her security guard, right? And I'm not saying that Natalie don't care about her security guard, but listening to her talk, it just didn't. I didn't hear anything emotion from her. She sounded matter of fact. Then she's like, I told Lemmy don't bring the cameras. Girl, to a funeral, you ain't got to tell nobody not to bring cameras to a fucking funeral. Why would like that is so weird to me? But neither here nor there, right? So we see the girls as they get, on the stage and they start performing. So Smiley went first, and she had Tavy and Fauna as backup dancers to support her. Then Gretchen got on stage. What I will say when Gretchen got on stage is the crowd did immediately start booing Gretchen, but when Gretchen started saying nigga, they got louder. So Gretchen is like, the crowd hurt her feelings by booing her. I was like, bitch, because you said nigga, and you said it in front of a crowd full of predominantly black people. Be so fucking for real, Gretchen. And she felt like she didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve it immediately when they were booing you, but when you started saying nigga and they got louder, you absolutely deserve that shit, right? So then Nunu got on stage, and while Nunu was performing, you could hear the crowd booing her. Then you get see Lex and Summer. They got up there. Lex 100% sucks as a rapper. So does Summer, but Lex is terrible. My God, today I hated it. So the next person that come out is Dolly. So when Dolly come out, she start performing. Now I didn't like the fact that the crowd kept chanting, "Fuck Dolly, fuck Dolly, fuck Dolly." Like, you don't have to like Dolly, but damn, that's fucked up to say chant "fuck Dolly." So then Anna came out, and Anna sang her song. Okay, cute. After that was Cold Killer. Cold Killer came out. The crowd was going up for Cold Killer. She was throwing her merch into the crowd and all that kind of stuff. Then after Cold Killer came out, you get Rolly. So Rolly came out and did her thing. So then we moved backstage. So backstage you have Nunu, Summer, Janelle, and Jayla having a conversation, right? And they were like, with the issues that you and Summer had, it's kind of shocking to see y'all sitting together. And Summer was like, I jumped into that stuff with her and Natalie, and look at it. They friends with each other again. Exactly. Like, you were doing so much trying to get up, you were doing so much trying to make Natalie like you that you made shit worse for yourself, right? So then Nunu was asking Jayla, so like, how do you and Lex move forward with each other, right? And Jayla was like, honestly, I don't have an issue when it comes to Lex. So Lex came and sat down, and they asked Lex, like, how do you feel about you and Jayla? And she was like, you know what? At this point, I don't have no beef with Jayla. And so her and Jayla was able to hug things out, right? Cool. They move forward. So then we get back on stage, and so Tinka is up next, and she's performing "It's a Baddie Party, You Cannot Get In," and she performed another song. I don't know what else she performed. Mariah Lynn did a performance. I don't really know what Mariah Lynn was performing. The only song by Mariah Lynn that I know is "Once Upon a Time, Not Long Ago, I Was a Hoe, and I'm admitting it. I can't take it back because I did this shit." Like, that is the only song that I know by Mariah Lynn. Anything else, I do not know. Tasiki performed. I don't know what Tasiki performed. Biggie came out. She did her performance. I feel like Tasiki and Biggie got a song together, but I don't know if they performed that. So then the next person to come out is Tommy, right? So when Tommy came out, I guess there was some kind of an issue with the song that DJ Sky played, because now she upset and going off on DJ Sky. And I was just like, girl, what is going on? But she still ended up doing a performance. I don't know what the fuck she did, but she did something. So after that, Suki comes on stage, and my God, today, the lyrics to Suki's song, vulgar as hell. I was like, Jesus Christ. I had to clutch them. I had to cover my ears because I was like, wow. I mean, the lyrics on that damn song. But hey, it is what it is. So then they had this special guest, Louis Peso, something like that. I don't know who he is. He got a song about call Zeus up or something like that. He performed. I don't know nothing about him, so congratulations to him. So then backstage, Gretchen is telling the girls that she got booed, right? Now, granted, they did start booing her before she's while she was performing and before she said nigga, but she's still pretending like she don't know why them people really just booed her, got louder with booing her. So Suki said, girl, did they really boo you? She was like, yeah, they did boo me. And then Suki was like, you know what? I know why them people booed you. It's because you said nigga. So stop saying nigga. And so Tinka was like, well, she got black kids. I said, excuse me, run that back. So because she has black kids, that gives her free reign and license to say nigga? I think the fuck not. And I was so glad that Tinka, not Tinka, but Suki said, girl, fuck that. She said, that's them same hoes that don't fuck with us, but they talk shit to their niggas about us. I said, clock it, Suki. Clock that T. Now, I don't know what Gretchen is, but she looks like a white woman from my purview. She looks like a white woman. And somebody else that was there, like Lex chimed in. A lot of people were chiming in saying that offend, like you're in a crowd full of people that are black and you're offending people. And she was like, "Well, I already made the song, but girl, just because you already made the song doesn't mean that you have to keep saying it. Like you don't have to keep saying nigga all the time." It's like we in New York. You're not. I don't give a fuck that we're in New York. You're not black. Stop saying that fucking word. The fuck. So Suki and Gretchen are getting into it with each other, right? So Gretchen calls Suki a bitch, and she was like, "Don't call me a bitch." And so Suki called her a bitch and a hoe. I was like, "Oh my god!" So at one point, Suki took her fucking shoes off, and she went and commenced a slapping and popping on Gretchen. I'm okay. I don't have a problem with it, right? So then the last performance is Natalie. So she's on stage performing, right? Now Sapphire is backstage and she going to fuck off. She even got so pissed off to the point where she jammed her finger and she didn't even realize it, right? So producers are telling her where Suki is, and everywhere she goes, Suki's not there. So they finally told her Suki was on stage, right? So we get back on stage and Natalie and Lex are performing the song, right? And so when they finished that, Sapphire got the mic and she's like, "Where's Gretchen at?" So after that happened, Natalie is talking about, she and Lemmy are performing, right? And they're performing Baddie Bad. And she's like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Me and Lemmy are on stage performing our song. And the crowd knows it. I was like, of course the crowd knows it, Natalie. It was the theme song of Baddies Africa. It was a theme song of Baddies in Africa. You even performed the theme song for Baddies USA on that stage. I bet you they didn't know that song, but yes, they know Baddie Bad because again, it was the theme song that we heard all season for Baddies Africa. Because we can't skip the theme song on Zeus. I would love it if you would give me that option to skip the theme song because I just cannot stand listening to it. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that is the episode. Now we did see as they did the meet and greet. Biggie girl, you just want to have a problem. Now I don't understand why Natalie and some of the other girls weren't there for the meet and greet because I mean these people did pay to see y'all, so the least you could do is do a meet and greet with these people. But hey, it is what it is. That's the episode. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video. Until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if I left anything out that you feel like we should have discussed, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.